Hi, folks. By now, you may have heard that Ukrainian forces have entered Russia in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in the beginning of 2022. Footage of Ukrainian soldiers in Russia has been released, although not everyone believes that it's real. That's fair. Russia is no stranger to deceptive imagery persuasion, which, if you've ever seen Ryan Macbeth's content, you may know to be the practice of using deceptive imagery to further propaganda or misinformation. So, why couldn't Ukraine do the same thing? Well, to answer DVS 57 Rebels' question, we can check to see if this is a Russian village by doing some fairly simple things. First, let's look for anything that might be unique and identifiable in this clip, and immediately we see this fairly colorful house. That's great. In front of it is this interesting metal barrier, and next to it is a very blue fence. I'd be willing to bet there aren't too many houses painted like that with those surrounding features in a Kursk region village. But how do we figure out where exactly that house is in the Kursk region? It's not exactly a small location to search. Well, to save some time, we look for more sources. For example, here's a video posted to the Telegraph in which a soldier claims to be in Suja. I tried to search for stores with this name, but came up empty. However, the footage shows what appears to be a military vehicle driving through what is allegedly the center of Suja, which is a lot easier to check. But we're not ready to go to Google Maps and just drop a street view pin in the center of Suja. What imagery in this video stands out? Well, we have a red-top sign that says Pekoshka. There's also a yellow building to the left and a red roof building straight ahead. We'll know exactly where this footage was taken if we can find those things. If we look at Suja, we see we kind of have two areas. We could look at that. Feels more residential. But if we go here, oh yeah. Oh, that looks like a center. See that? How everything sort of branches off of it? That feels pretty central. Well, I feel good about that. Let's drop it there. Oh, no way. No. Folks, I think we just did it. It's usually not that easy. But the vehicle shown isn't necessarily a Ukrainian vehicle. What if it's a Russian vehicle and then that video clip was taken and put at the end of Ukrainian talking so that it looked like the vehicles were going through? Well, okay, sure. If we look at this road, and I'm going to assume that the clips were played in the order that they were taken. So if the soldier's out walking, I'm going to assume that it is further back along the road. So let's go this way. And if I'm going to look for a structure that's going to stand out, the structure I'm looking for in the context of finding where it was taken, I kind of like the look of that domed building. I think that's going to stand out. So if we keep going down this road and we keep just looking around, keep our head on a swivel. Oh, what's this? I think that's it. We're not at the right angle. Let's keep going. Oh, oh yeah. That looks pretty. Yeah. There it is. This is the spot. He was standing right over here. Oh yeah. This is the spot. He was standing right over here. We were looking at that. So now we have an actual location. This is in Suja. If that's a Ukrainian soldier, that's a Ukrainian soldier in Suja. I'd be willing to bet the vehicle then is a Ukrainian vehicle in Suja. But that's not the original video that we saw. If we return to that video, it turns out it actually said where that was. It was Plakovo, I believe it's pronounced. I was looking too closely at the buildings. I didn't notice that. That's on me. If we go to Plakovo, we notice that it doesn't have any street view. That's problematic because how do we figure out where they were? Well, if Suja is over here, there it is. If Suja's here, and we assume that they were going down this way, probably maybe down a main road. They don't have to be super secret about it because they're moving so quickly. defenses probably aren't set up along main roads. So they can push. As long as they're pushing fast, main roads might be fine. So we're going to assume that's what they're doing. And if that's the case, the main road appears to be here. They come in through here, and we're looking for a place with buildings. I mean, maybe, but that's not the main road. They'd have to take a little detour. That would be weird, unless they're trying to show off to the Russians. But if they're worried about the Russians taking up arms and defending their hometown, that would be maybe a bad idea. So I'm going to assume that's not what's happening, and they're going down this way. And, oh, we're starting to have houses. Okay. Maybe along here. Maybe along here. Neighbors are doing a lot of gardening. Got along here. If I was very motivated to solve this, I might take little screenshots from the video and layer them next to each other to give me sort of like a long panoramic of where they're going by, because they're moving that camera so much. But instead of doing that, and it is an option if I have to, what I've decided to do is draw what this might look like from the air. While the neighbors are cutting down a rainforest out there, I'm going to do a little bit of work. So what I've come up with is this. We have a wall here, followed by a bunch of buildings. Another wall. There's this tree over here. I'm not sure if that's going to be important. There's a lot of trees. But we have these arrows. Now, these arrows indicate to me what the roof slant is. So we have this one here that's just a, left and right slant. But this one has this little triangle-y bit that slants forward. There's probably technical terms for this. I don't know. Some sheds, the wall, etc. This, the hashes, the slashes, this indicates empty space. For me, maybe there's a industry standard. I don't know. I'm doing this for me. Oh, also, this is, I don't know if it's going to matter. This appears to be a garage. And there were tire marks as if a vehicle drives in and out. We also have this road line, the center line. It starts off solid, then becomes dashed. So if we look at the map, and we go into Plakovo, we have this. What was the main road that we were looking at? I think it was this one. But this main road doesn't have that line. This might just be dirt for all I know. But we do have a solid white line here. Oh, which then becomes dashed. And if we look here, that appears to be a wall. Okay, that matches. It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. We do have that little forward triangular slant. That's pretty common in these buildings. But then we have this other wall here with a tree. I mean, this looks like it matches because this pops out. We have that pop out, and the wall, I'll show you. This pops out, we have the wall, then the tree. If we look back at the map, pop out, wall, tree. Obviously mine isn't to scale, but that looks pretty good. And then if we look at the, solid line, dashed line. That looks really close. That looks really close. I think we can say for certain the video in Suja was in Suja. I think we can say with pretty close to certainty that this video is in Plakovo. So if you're wondering how someone might figure out if Ukrainian troops are in Russia, there you go, because it sure seems that way. Sure seems like they're there. I do have one more trick, which is to figure out when this video might have been taken. If we look at the weather in that other video we saw in Suja, the weather was sunny with some clouds, but in Plakovo, it was very much overcast. So if we look at recent weather, and we know this is recent because the push into Russia is very recent, we see that the days where this matches weather-wise are August 12th and August 13th. If we go further and check the shadows on the second video, we can see that they're perpendicular to the street almost. And when does that happen? On August 12th, right around 5 p.m. So that other video in Suja that we found, we can determine that that was probably taken on August 12th between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. local time. That's pretty cool. Now remember, folks, if I can do this, your adversaries can do this. So be careful with what you post and always practice safe OPSEC.